Hi, everybody. I'm here outside of San Juan del Sur, the south side, and I have the honor today to interview one of our expats that bought one of our listings with her own agent in San Juan del Sur. So we're going to interview her a little bit and talk about her new lifestyle as well as why she came to Nicaragua. Okay, guys, so we're here sitting in a beautiful place, and we're, like I said, we're meeting with one of our clients, people that purchased a home. So we just wanted to kind of chill, and as you can see, some people have wine in their hand. Just then, you got some wine there too. So we're just chilling, and we just wanted to kind of give you a sense why Eve came to Nicaragua. So tell us, Eve, why did you decide to come here in this gorgeous location to live here in Nicaragua? Give us your viewpoint.
Well, Nicaragua was the bigger choice, right? And I really didn't know much about Nicaragua. In fact, I knew pretty much almost nothing, which was a good thing. And I've traveled. I've lived in many, many states in the U.S., traveled through many countries. And Central and Latin America were kind of on a long delayed list of places to go. So when I decided that I was done with my 50 years of,
Love it.
Working in the salt mines, I thought, okay, where can I go and have higher quality of life and more freedom than I've experienced in my life so far? Because my attitude is that unless you're making a significant improvement in your life, that change just for change is not necessarily helpful. So I went on a little southern tour, and I thought, I have family in Dominican Republic, let's go there first. So I went to Dominican Republic, spent a little time up north in an area called Las Terrenas, beautiful beaches, lots of French and Italians, and great food. Not my scene.
That's your cup of tea.
Yeah. So then I headed to Panama because I knew that Panama had, obviously there's the canal, there's a lot of interchange, there's a lot of commerce, and I looked at Panama, and again, just not me. So I knew two people living here in Nicaragua, and I thought, well, that's interesting, and it's not very far from Panama or Dominican Republic or the US.
Right.
So I thought, I'm going there. And I landed, and I was here a week. I had a few dinners and went to a few beaches, but I was definitely sort of a tourist. And I thought, I went home where I had a 2,700 square foot house, and I'd been collecting things all my life, and I went back up to Whidbey Island, which is paradisical as well, and I thought, I need to move toward this change in my life, because I need to have something that is significant and shocking and different and really opens up my future. Because as I look at it, I'm 65 going on 66, and give me 10 more good ones and I'll be really happy. If I get 20, great, but I'm going to use the next 10 years really well. And I thought, maybe I can do it here. So I looked at a lot of different things, but I think the most appealing thing about this is it reminds me of where and how I grew up. I grew up on the Olympic Peninsula of Washington State, in the forest, and as people from the 50s know, kids born in the 50s, it was very peaceful and quiet, and kids ran everywhere, and
Free.
you could just knock on your neighbors' doors, and people were helpful. And I had a very immediate sense that I could feel that here, that existed. You know, there's a horse in the road, there's a cow in the road. You know, there's no stress, there's no hustle. So I went back and I said to my sister, pack. We're leaving for Nicaragua in a month. So we're going to close out we're going to put everything in a storage locker, a 10 by 10, get rid of everything, get it one-way ticket, and go. And we did. So we got here, and she immediately loved it. And my sister's always a little, you know, not, her being particular about where she lives is really related to her feeling of community, her feeling of safeness, her feeling of being, having freedom to just roam. That's how we grew up. So we came back down and we thought, let's try living in different areas, because that's the research, and we have this great opportunity to try this neighborhood, try that neighborhood, try this town. And we did. We moved 5 times in a year. We tried in closer to town, but something kept drawing me out here, south of San Juan. And it's completely obvious when you leave town. You're driving through the hills, you're looking, and it's just, it's arbol, it's trees, it's forest, it's clean, it's beautiful. It's magic. So about a year ago, I saw this listing, and I thought, oh, okay, you know, am I really ready to buy something? This is a commitment. I'm scared.
Yes.
Oh no. And I just kept looking at my options and saying, I don't have these options in the United States. I don't have these options. I can't live the life I want to live. Oh, I'm retiring with a 401k, not a 401k, I'm sorry. I'm retiring with Social Security, and you know, some cash from a sale of a small property. And I thought, this needs to take me through the long haul, and it needs to take me through a long haul in a way that I feel content and happy, not fearful of not making bills, fearful of being alone, fearful of not having community. So I as we were moving and sort of building our relationships with people here, we realized that everything that we needed was here. We could have as much assistance as we wanted. We could have people who would be willing to stay with us if we got sick. I realized that it was all attainable for, I mean, you know, we're talking monetarily now, so I'm in that conversation, but, you know, I realized that I could actually have a very content and successful, in my terms, life. I could have gardens. I could finally have horses. I could have new friends from around the world. One of my neighbors, Canadian via South Africa. I've got other neighbors who are, you know, from Oregon and Texas, and I've got an amazing Nicaraguan community here, including the people that work with me here. So I saw this place and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I thought, this is something I can never have anywhere else. And so while I sat on that decision for 6-8 months, and you know, COVID came along, and my property in Washington wasn't selling, and I knew that if I wanted to make this happen, I needed to just take action, which isn't that hard when you're 65, because you don't have, you do it now or you just don't do it.
Yeah.
So I went back up, and on Whidbey Island, the COVID market was favorable for me. People were excited about moving to the island. And so I sold, and I still have a locker of things up there that are being sold slowly by a friend who likes to eBay things and etc. marketplace. So I got down here, and in 3 months I've been working on restoring and making my changes and making it home for me, and my horse is fantastic, and I'm getting another horse, and I've built a corral and a pasture, and they're starting on the stables on Monday. And
not to mention the ginger, the turmeric, all the different things.
So I got to this property thinking, you know, I was a very successful little sort of home gardener in the state of Washington. Everything grows. You get some sun, you get a lot of rain. You get sun, rain, really good soil. And I got down here and I thought, well, it's agave. It's not like red oak lettuce. What do I do? You know, I'm used to things that need a lot of water. This is completely different. But I started looking around, and I was completely amazed at what was growing here. Citrus, 3 types of citrus. So I've got limon, I've got oranges, and I've got red grapefruit. So I can go out in the morning and I can pull a red grapefruit off the tree and cut it, fresh, and I can juice it. And I can do this I do this every day. Who does that? So then I was looking, oh, there are the cashew trees and the almond trees and the turmeric and basil and tomatoes and papaya and bananas. I've got several types of bananas.
Bananitos.
I've got manzana bananas. I've got which are bananas that taste like apples. Imagine. I've got platanos. I've got a 3rd type of banana that I need to try to understand. I was growing a large field. There's a large field of jamaica growing, which produces a superfood, and when dried can be used as a elixir in your cocktail. It can be used as a tea. And it can just be used as a drink, but it's loaded with vitamins. And that's what I'm finding about most of the things that are growing here, is everything's organic on this farm. You just have to be nice to the soil. But everything growing here has tremendous value to the body. It's amazing. All the things that were so expensive in the market that I could never buy because it was the superfood, it grows right here. It grows right here. And I am fortunate beyond belief.
Well, that's really great to know that you're so happy, number one. So how do you feel about your safety? Because that's one thing that single ladies always talk about.
I mean, honestly, I lived in New Orleans in the 60s. I grew up in the state of Washington. I spent 20 some years when I was getting another degree in Boston. And I have never had to look over my shoulder to see who's walking behind me. I've never had anyone hustle me, period. I've never had anyone get close to me. I've never had anyone try to take my purse. I have examples where I've left my brand new iPhone 12. Yes, I'm spoiled, but I worked hard for that. And it's got a good camera. I left it on the counter in a little tienda, which is a little grocery store, and didn't realize it until about 6 hours later. And I went back and I said, you know, you haven't seen my phone. Oh yeah, it's here. So I was so freaked out and happy that, you know, I gave her a reward, which she was completely almost stunned by and uncomfortable with.
Yes.
Like, yeah. You don't need to pay me. This is what we do. Right. And I've had many instances like that. So even the petty things that would happen if you know, your purse might disappear or something, I haven't had that experience here. But in terms of just And I've traveled in Mexico, I've traveled in Thailand, I've traveled in a number of countries, first, second, third world. And this is the only country where I can honestly say I have never felt that my personal person was being intruded upon. And it could be because I'm an older woman. I think that there is a respect here for people who have reached, you know, our age, and I think that I'm actually afforded much more in terms of respect and manners than I might be if I were younger, which is completely the opposite in the U.S., where sadly our elders are many times invisible.
Pushed away. Well, Eve, you have said a lot of things, and I really, really appreciate it. And we also agree about the tercera edad for the elders here, as we are called. You know, anybody above 65 is third age group, which is retirees. I just want to thank you. I'm sorry I got a sore throat here suddenly. But I do want to thank you for your time today. It's a great review, and I think a lot of our listeners will enjoy your honesty as well as the beauty of the place that we're taking this video from. And look at the expanse of the beauty of the hillsides. It's dry season, so remember that. And here I'm going to show you quickly to the fields here. Look at that. And we're approximately 15-20 minutes by drive to the beaches. So again, Eve, I want to thank you for your time.
2 miles to the beaches.
Oh, 2 miles. Okay. So
to the main one, but there's several. You know.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate the input. Thank you.
We're close.
Yeah, we're close. Thanks a lot.
Thank
I
you,
really
Paul.
appreciate it. Thanks.